Hey, and welcome. There is a word from Buddhist philosophy that sounds abstract, distant, maybe even unsettling at first glance. Śūnyatā. It is often translated as emptiness, and that translation alone has caused centuries of misunderstanding. Because Śūnyatā does not mean that nothing exists. It does not mean that life is meaningless, and it certainly does not mean emotional coldness or nihilism. In fact, Śūnyatā points to something surprisingly gentle and deeply practical. The idea that nothing exists independently, permanently, or in isolation, and that this insight can reduce suffering, soften self-judgment, and bring more freedom into everyday life. In this video, we will explore what Śūnyatā really means, where the concept comes from, how it is explained through metaphors, why it matters psychologically, and how you can apply it today without becoming detached or passive. This is not about believing in Buddhism. It is about seeing reality a little more clearly and suffering a little less because of it. Chapter 1, what Śūnyatā actually means. Śūnyatā comes from Mahayana Buddhism and is most famously articulated by the philosopher Nagarjuna. At its core, Śūnyatā means all phenomena are empty of inherent, independent existence. This sentence sounds technical, but the idea behind it is simple. Nothing exists by itself. Everything arises through causes, through conditions, through relationships. A tree is not just a tree. It is soil, water, sunlight, time, weather, human naming, cultural meaning. Remove those conditions and the tree disappears. Śūnyatā does not say, nothing exists. Your feelings are not real. Life doesn't matter. Instead, it says, things exist relationally, not independently. Identity is fluid, not fixed. Meaning is constructed, not inherent. This distinction matters because misunderstanding Śūnyatā leads to nihilism, while understanding it leads to compassion and flexibility. Chapter 2, the famous metaphor, the chariot. Nagarjuna explains Śūnyatā using a simple metaphor. Imagine a chariot. You look at it and say, this is a chariot. But where exactly is the chariot? Is it the wheels, the axle, the platform, the sum of all parts? If you remove the wheels, is it still a chariot? If you remove the axle, if you lay all parts on the ground, where did the chariot go? The chariot exists, but only as a concept dependent on parts and function. The same applies to the self, personality, emotions, roles, identities. There is no solid, unchanging core hiding inside you. And paradoxically, this is not frightening. It is liberating. Chapter 3, Śūnyatā and the Self. I as a process, not a thing. When we suffer psychologically, we often suffer because we believe, I am broken. I am anxious. I am a failure. This is who I am. Śūnyatā gently questions this. It does not say, you don't exist. It says, you exist as a process. Thoughts arise, emotions arise, body sensations arise, memories arise, but none of them stay. None of them define you permanently. The self is more like a river, not a statue, a weather system, not a fixed climate, a story unfolding, not a final verdict. From a psychological perspective, this aligns closely with modern process-based therapy, mindfulness-based approaches, ACT, and parts-based models. You are not your anxiety. You are not your inner critic. You are not your current emotional state. They are events, not identities. Chapter 4, why emptiness reduces suffering. Suffering increases when we cling to permanence, demand certainty, rigidly define ourselves and others. Śūnyatā reduces suffering by loosening that grip. If emotions are not permanent, they can pass. If identity is not fixed, change is possible. If meaning is relational, failure is not absolute. This does not remove pain, but it removes unnecessary resistance. Pain says, this hurts. Suffering says, this should not be happening and it will never change. Śūnyatā speaks to the second voice. Chapter 5, a modern metaphor, the mirror and the fogs. Imagine your mind as a mirror. Thoughts, emotions, and self-judgments are like fog passing over it. When the fog is thick, you forget the mirror exists. You think, this fog is who I am. Sunyata reminds you, the mirror was never damaged. The fog was never permanent. You don't need to destroy the fog. You don't need to fight it. You just stop mistaking it for your identity. Gentle transition to part 2. So far we've explored what Śūnyatā means, where it comes from, how it challenges rigid identity, and why it reduces suffering. In part 2, we will go deeper into everyday examples, emotional attachment and letting go, relationships and boundaries, modern psychology and Śūnyatā, and practical ways to live this insight without becoming passive or detached.